Okay, so welcome to our little group this morning, and whoever finds this meditation, either in this moment or later on online, welcome, and we will be in the presence of your soul, your greater part of your soul, and this is the way that we interact with each other across a little bit of an expanse of time. At the level of soul, time is less momentarily constrained. And so we welcome you, and we know that some degree of this welcome, some degree of this goodwill that we send to you will reach you via your soul. So if you feel that, how beautiful. If you don't, that's okay. So take a few breaths. Settle into, first of all, the idea of meditation, and then allow your physical and emotional bodies to align. So allow your emotional body to become calm, for there is no reason not to be calm while we do this meditation. And this will flow into a relaxation of your physical body. So like we had for our theme last week, energy follows thought, so we create the thought. We choose in a way, we set our intent to meditate and to be calm emotionally and to be relaxed physically. And to help that process, we focus our attention within our mental body on this one moment in which there is no reason to be anything other than calm, and there's no reason to be anything other than relaxed. So if we keep our focus in this moment, then we support those other two bodies within our earthly vehicle. So breathe. Hold the idea of breathing out that which is not calm and relaxed. The out breath is most valuable for this purpose. Breathing in is the moment that we attract the supportive energies for that. And on the out breath, we remove anything that doesn't align with those energies and thoughts and ideas and ideals that we have attracted. So we create a little cycle of increasing peacefulness. So Father, Mother, God, creator of all things, we ask for blessings on this meditation in which we contemplate a key component within meditation, within life, within our evolutionary journey. We ask for all the help that we can get to understand the value and the importance of paying attention. So in the first part of our meditation, we pay attention to that which we would be, the conditions that we would create of calm, of relaxation, of being in this moment. So paying attention becomes one of the methods by which we can explore paying attention. And we welcome all the beings of the light that have mastered in their long journey this ideal, this concept of paying attention, focusing their thoughts. And so their support, their guidance, their contribution, their consideration, maybe the benefit of this may be incalculable, may be profound. It's best to learn off those that have mastered something, embodied it, been through the process of ensuring that this is an innate component of their makeup. So the archangels, the angels, the ascended masters, and up and beyond, have at their disposal, have as a part of their innate being, the ability to focus, to be aware, to pay attention on what is important. So continue to relax and be at peace. Allow your earthly vehicle to rejuvenate and renew while we allow our point of awareness, which resides in that vehicle, to pay attention. To contemplate the idea of paying attention. So where does it fit within our meditative processes, our journey to become proficient at meditation? So consider the first three steps of meditation. The first is concentration, the ability to hold the mind steady on whatever it is that you choose to hold the mind steady on, to select something to focus on, focus your attention. So for shorter lengths of time, we call this concentration. If we are able to extend this length of time that we are able to concentrate, then it begins to be termed meditation, paying attention, having the ability to pay attention, extending the ability to pay attention. So after we are able to extend our concentration into meditation, the meditation has several phases. The first is the one in which we pay attention to a focus, a seed thought, an idea. So we allow our mind to, or we use our mind to remain focused on an idea, a concept. It may be a simple thing, maybe an object, could be a person, could be ourselves. We definitely use our mind to focus on something. Over a long period of time, incarnationally, but if we've done this before, it may not take us so long in any one incarnation as we refine our old abilities. In some incarnation, maybe this one, we go through a slight shift in that meditation phase. And we learn to be expectant. We learn to wait with focus on no particular object. Maybe a lesser ideal, like a lesser form related ideal. We may wait expectantly for guidance. So the mind, the person remains focused, the person is paying attention. But in a more subjective way. There's an important distinction to make between making your mind go blank and this state. Different philosophies lead people down a path of attempting to make their mind blank. And we don't recommend this. The Tibetan doesn't recommend this. There are dangers inherent. So focused, aware, waiting, expecting, anticipation, is a different state to being blank, and it's a different state to paying attention to an object. And it's still paying attention. Further on, we enter into the meditative phase of contemplation. In this phase, we have created the circumstances within which it is our soul that is doing the contemplating, which isn't the case in the first two phases. First two phases, it's largely the personality. In contemplation, it's the soul. And still, the indwelling life will be paying attention during that process. So in the first instance, paying attention remains an important part of the meditative process. If we go blank or we dissociate, we're doing something a bit outside of what we are talking about in our meditation framework. So contemplate that the idea of a meditation practice is so that we are able to take that practice and allow it to become more a part of who we are in an everyday sense, in a moment by moment sense as we go about our daily activities. So the idea of paying attention flows through into that. We expand through meditation practice our capacity to pay attention, to use our mind, to train our brain. To develop a different way of being, an expanded way of being. So we take that into our daily activities. And so we can be doing activities by ourselves, and paying attention engages us. And allows us to understand and gather important information about an existence, about life, about the lives around us. It makes the most of the moment. There are countless numbers of humans on the planet right at this moment who are not making the most of the moment, who are not paying attention in the moment. And so they are missing out on the opportunity to understand more about life. So paying attention at all times eventually becomes a part of our being. This grows. The capacity to do this grows. The capacity to hold our focus grows. Our ability to pay attention for longer and longer periods of time until it becomes almost innate. Doesn't mean that rest isn't important. So when we are at rest, we can rest. When we are doing our activities, when we are relating to things and people, when we are active, this is the best time to pay attention. Contemplate that. In lots of ways, this relates to the idea, the concept of living in the moment. We'll hear this, living in the now, time and time again. Hugely valuable idea. Only consider that it is entirely possible to live in the moment and not be paying attention. You may have the ability to switch off the past and the future and to have whatever it is of you in the moment without paying attention. So paying attention can become or is an important component of living in the moment effectively. Living in the moment in such a way that it benefits you and so benefits all. So contemplating this general idea of paying attention in the moment to the life that you are currently living in that moment, that we can pay attention to the outside world and we can pay attention to our self. And so this flows perfectly sensibly into the idea of know thyself. A long incarnational journey is a journey towards a culminating time when we know ourselves. We know what we are, we know what we exist within. We know much about how we operate and why, the reasons why we've ended up where we are and what it is that we are trying to do and our purpose. So the concept of know thyself is central to the spiritual journey, is central to your evolutionary journey, central to the purpose for your being. It would be safe to say that one of the mechanisms by which you fulfill your purpose is to pay attention so that you may relate your true self to the truest understanding of all the selves around you and all the other lives around you. This would be a fundamental and underlying aspect of living your purpose. Pay attention. This is not something that is an innate ability for humans. Humans are asked to develop this ability by choosing to develop this ability using their free will. Contemplate the safety that this can provide. Contemplate the numbers of discarnate entities and human earthbound spirits that will, if given the opportunity, occupy an unused mental body, will occupy the mechanism that is not being used by someone who has chosen to create a situation of being the opposite of paying attention, choosing to be mentally blank, to choosing to say, my mental body is not important. My mental body is something to be diminished, to be got rid of. I guarantee there are any number of lives that will make use of a vacant mental body, vacant brain, so see the value of paying attention from a number of perspectives. Know that it will help you engage with life. Know that it will draw forward your spiritual journey. Know that it is a profoundly encouraged mechanism by which you can become more of all that you are, and that it is an inevitable component of the journey of every human in some incarnation or some latter stage of incarnation of their long incarnational journey, focused paying attention. Will be where they end up. So maybe this moment, this life, this incarnation, this is one where we grasp the importance and we begin to turn our intention towards more completely and beneficially paying attention. Contemplate that this may be the mechanism by which we access and use all those parts of the human brain that science tells us are not being used. Maybe this is one way that we make use of those. Okay. So as we come out of the meditation, hold on to the idea. As you come out of any meditation, hold on to the idea of maintaining our attention on us, what is happening around us. Hold that meditative idea of paying attention, using our mental body in the way that ultimately we are being asked to use it. It's our choice not to, but I'm suggesting that we make the choice at the end of every meditation to use our free will to enhance our impulse, our motivation, enhance our intention to pay attention. So in the words of the Tibetan Fire Alice Bailey, the secret of success can be expressed in the simple words, pay attention. Therein we have the essence of our meditation tonight. So we thank those beings of the light for their attention. We are most grateful that in the moments that we are able to pay attention on their support, that they are ahead of us and they are paying attention and they are waiting for us to pay attention. So we thank them for their capacity, their ability, their choice in this matter. Father, Mother, God, Creator of all things, thank you for this opportunity to contemplate and meditate in safety in a space which is supported, which is energetically enhanced so that we may do these contemplations and gain the most out of them that we can. And we honour the divine in all. Thank you.